Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
Now, here's your host, Ed Cohen.
Hi, this is Ed in San Diego, California, and welcome again to GLOBALTVtalkshow.com. When we started in March of 2020, we started with nothing, and Google Analytics has tracked our numbers, our viewers, our distribution, and they say that we have had over 181,927 audience visits since then. It's like crazy. That's only about 30 months. And that's an average of around 6,000 audience visits a month worldwide. 70% US, about 20% Europe, which includes Russia and Ukraine. And and about 9% or so in Asia Pacific, 1% Middle East and Africa, and most of that is in Tel Aviv and Dubai. Our special guest today is originally from Eastern Europe, but been in Canada for many, many years. Emily Braun, welcome. And it's Emily Braun, BRON.com. Go see the information. As you can see, she's a specialist in international lifestyle consulting. And this means that she takes a hands-on approach, very detailed, personal approach to guiding people who are thinking about living abroad, retiring abroad, working from anywhere. Hello, Emily. Welcome again.
Hello, Ed. Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be part of your show.
Well, this is, you've been on several times already, and we have several more to come as a member of Global Press Club. That's one of the key benefits. So we're going to be talking about your recent touring. It's ongoing in Mexico. And you've just published number 6 chapter about Yucatan. But let's talk about investing in buying in Mexico. Generally, the prices are lower than in the US area, and you can get some really good value, particularly if you like the specific area that you're looking at. So while there's plenty of places where you can spend 7 and 8 figures, it's not necessary. Isn't that right, Emily?
Exactly. And I think you can find really decent or even luxury property in Mexico, and it might be less than 6 or 7 figures, depending on what you're looking for. And because, yes, I'm pretty practical in what I'm doing. I'm discovering and looking for different areas to explain people the differences in, climate, lifestyles they can find. But at the same time, I was looking for different kind of projects. I was trying to follow the new development, and I can tell that it's impossible because there are so many new development in Mexico. First of all, Mexico is a huge country.
Yeah,
and there is actual big competition over the last years in different parts of Mexico, between construction company, between investment companies who are investing in different projects. So people mostly know about Riviera Maya, and there is a huge development in this area, including a high-speed train, which is developing by government, but we'll not speak about it now. Speaking about community development, big development in Baja California, but even in Baja California Sur or North, you probably know the different projects. I was looking on what's going on in my last trip, just like in April and May. What is new and interesting was for me to find this new project in Mazatlan, the places which actually, attract many Canadians and Americans. It was known and good place, for Mexican, but for our people, it's a little bit new, but not new like for those who already decided to relocate, and already forming the community and actually building new homes in this place. And when I was thinking actually how I can help and what I can do, with understanding that Americans and Canadians sometimes need financing to build their home, or to buy, I just came across one American businessman. It was in Puerto Vallarta during my tour, and it was very interesting that like we kind of started to speak, and in 5-10 minutes we kind of found connection. And even it was on a driving on a tour, and after that we were divided to the different group, like touristic group. We reconnected again, and apparently Mike was and is owner of private mortgage company from Colorado. And I expressed my desire, speaking about what I've seen in different cities, and I'm going to look for next project. I thought we need to do something. We need to help people, actually not just, and for me, just to speak about different region and show nice pictures, but actually help people with mortgages. There is no mortgages. Like Mexican banks, actually, I would say pretty hard to give mortgages even for Mexican citizens. I knew about it. Their process is pretty strict, and the interest was pretty high. But I thought, you know what? Many people in United States and Canada would appreciate the option to have the place, in Mexico, and Mike himself know about it. Like he liked Mexico. Let's do something on looking for mortgage opportunities.
Yeah, let me ask you: is the idea of lending normal? Well, it is very normal for Americans,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in that case, typically in America, there's a bank, like whether it's a big bank or a private bank. The buyer, such as me, I'm going to put down a bunch of money, okay, in a bank account, and then the bank's going to float a loan, a huge amount, thinking that I'm going to be able to pay that on a regular basis at a certain rate of interest. But it's not a joint ownership, though. It's like I would be property owner, and then the lender would be a lender. That's all. And if there's a default or something bad happens, then it goes back to the lender, and then it's resold or something, right? So is it that the same? I mean, talking about risk management here.
I understand.
Okay. So is it done the same way there, or is it different?
So actually, it will be done similar way for Americans and Canadians. It will work through the bank trust, and bank trust, like fideicommiso, it's not a new concept for Mexico. They do it anyway for foreigners or for temporary residents, like coming from different countries, when they purchase the property in a seashore zone, or they have these rules for many years: 50 kilometers from the sea, 100 kilometers from the border. And in this case, sea is a border. But if you buy property inside country, like huge territory, you get your title directly. In this case, you get your title directly, even you are foreigner. In this case, bank, to have collateral, saying we are okay, but all should be done through the fideicommiso. It's kind of additional warranty trust, bank trust for Mexican bank, and they have it, I believe, in their, like, one of the department. It's a part of their services.
So once again, there's a differentiation between if you buy within a certain closeness to the water,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to being back on the land.
Yeah.
So are you saying that the government has an interest in that property right next to the water?
No. First of all, it was the law, but it was the old rule from the time the French were trying to invade France, that foreigners cannot have their own property in 100 kilometers from the border, which obviously time was flying, and they were doing like 100 years ago when foreigners started to buy property. Okay, you will have a title, but your title will be assured by Mexican bank trust, kind of separate entity, which actually working well because through this trust you can write your property to your children. There are some advantages to have this trust as well, but it was only for this kind of close to the border territory. Foreigner so far can buy their property directly working through notario. Has different role in Mexico. It's very high respect position, and this notario, it's a public figure who actually assures that deal is okay.
I'm sorry, you said the pronunciation of notary is?
Yeah, it's a notary. Yes,
Yeah.
Public notary.
Okay,
But
got it.
yes, the public notary, first of all, looking like how deal is done, that, this bank trust and loan and developer, if it's a case, that all should be based on the law. But if you buy, say, in Mexico City or in Querétaro, the deal is done directly through the notary, and you get your title on your name. If you're close to the border, you have a title on your name, but there is additional kind of assurance for the bank that it's working through the bank trust. I mean, bank which is lending. It might be different bank. So in this case, this Mexican bank would be working through the trust, which kind of not new for Mexico, a little bit new for Americans and Canadians. But what was interesting for me, and actually for Mike, they like how the system and process is working, established in United States and Canada, because we have credit score, which they don't have. All this procedure, we have checking of different documentation, and they trust that American working, through the procedure, and obviously together with Mexican bank, will assure by checking the document that clients is eligible. It's okay, and he might be good candidate to get part of the mortgage. So they need a minimum 30% of down payment, 30% from the price, which is okay. And minimum property, as far as I know, they agreed would be $200,000 American dollars. So it's not, the shock. But if you really would like to buy some more expensive, in the Mexican terms, property.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
International lifestyle consultant Emily Braun can help you seamlessly transition to your new life in your dream destination. Whether you are a retiree, a digital nomad, or a mobile executive, Emily Braun can make your transition overseas a success. Visit emilybraun.com.
Let me ask you a question about the convergence or the separateness of American real estate law relevant to Mexican real estate law. So for instance, in the US, there's such a thing as called a tax-advantaged 1031 agreement. So I'm not a lawyer, but or a lender, but I know something about it. So in a 1031, let's just say that I owned a property 20 years ago, and now it's appreciated. Okay, I could sell it, and of course there'd be a giant profit, right? And therefore the taxes would be very high, and sometimes that's okay to pay them and move on. But in the US, there's a deal available if you abide by the rules, whereby you can avoid paying that capital gains tax if you reinvest into a property that's even higher than what you sold the other property for. And that pushes forward to a later time the tax due. So as long as you keep rolling over into another property, you can step up and you help the economy, of course, and the U.S. IRS is willing to do that under certain circumstances. Would Mexico honor and be involved in a 1031 kind of thing, or not? It's probably too complicated right now.
Look, I will not speculate on this. I only know, and it's pretty new, agreement. And we will see how it's gonna work on several examples. But what is good, Mexican bank is okay to work with person with T4, how it's in a full-time employee, like in American, as well as with self-employed, like me and you. It's a big step under different circumstances, because they believe that American and Canadian due diligence system would be good enough working for them, but it should be done and would be done based on the Mexican law. And in Mexico, they have capital gain as well. The only thing I can tell you, as far as I know, it's not such a drastic, or maybe in some region, big increase in the prices. That I would say that Mexican real estate more healthier comparing at least with Canadian, because there is a lot of development, a lot of competition in different areas. Obviously, it's gonna raise, and they didn't have a lot of chances actually to flip. For Mexicans, the buying casa is casa, and you live in this place. But okay, world is changing, and I believe all would be based on Mexican law, and taxes in Mexico, I would not say now, because I don't know particular. But you can refinance whatever I learn, and I ask this particular question. But you can refinance. By the way, if you have one property in Mexico and you would like to have another one, say in different place, the refinancing options should work as well. Yeah. So when it will work in a couple of months, I mean the process will be smooth. I think it will be good option and help for American and Canadians, even from inflation point of view. Look, when you sell property and when you buy property, there is always, several months, sometimes might be even, year gap between two processes. But with refinancing, or saying with option to buy property, just by transferring, having your case in Mexico and purchasing some property. By the way, they're not working with pre-construction, already titled property, just to reduce the risk. Property already built, all is okay, client see, client knows, and you can still have your property in California, wherever you are, but start kind of using your new property by transferring money, not the losing time on deal closed here, deal open in different cases.
Yeah. So do they care in Mexico? Do they care if you let's say I buy a property, okay, say a condo in just south of Tijuana, the beachfront area, and a little south of there and down there, Ensenada, say, which is a very nice area, right next to wineries and agriculture, and it has a beautiful harbor and a beach. Very prosperous area, Ensenada area, which I think is 90 minutes, a 90-minute drive south of San Diego here. And let me ask you a question. Do they care what I do with that property? Meaning that, okay, I'm gonna go through this, I'm gonna get a mortgage, and do they care if I rent it out as a vacation property? Or do they insist that I have to live there all the time?
It's a big business, like property management company, I found competing. It's very known and respectful business in Mexico, in Puerto Vallarta, in Riviera Maya, in Baja California. There is many property management company actually which are dealing with rent out and under certain condition. That's why it's a business which Mexico is very interested, first of all, to build, to attract investment and to give employment for a lot of people who are working in this sector.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Wow. How has your tour happened for you? Is it, I think it's a great idea, number one. And I don't know if anybody's doing it other than you in such a human way and conveying what you're doing through not only Global TV, but in your other ways. And I applaud you for that. And I'm really happy to be a part of that. But how's it going? And are you going to continue it as we get into our summertime?
Now I'm taking some time off from the touring to work on my different projects, even, waiting to get results from this new initiative. Actually, I'm involved in some other project in Mexico, which I don't want to speak about now because, it's not yet time. I'm waiting to the point it was launched, and it's, by the way, regarding real estate, but rental investment option. It's a new concept. Don't want to take your time now, maybe, and I believe we will have separate meeting when it would be ready.
Very good. So from your touring so far, have you been in San Miguel de Allende?
I was, but not this time. In 2019, before COVID, I was in the region, including San Miguel de Allende. And I can tell you that this another Mexican project I'm involved with, the rental properties would be in San Miguel de Allende, would be in Riviera Maya, would be, I believe, in Baja California. So in all this kind of known for many people and expats places, to give people opportunity to live and to try different lifestyles based on, area people are selecting to rent for some time. It was kind of my idea that, like, I told it, I like to live in different places, and couple of weeks here, maybe couple, just to find, by the way, before you buy, to see how it works for you.
So let me ask you about Costa Rica, and let me ask you about, let's just say Belize. Those are also very popular with Canadians and Americans.
Yes, indeed. And for different people, there are different priorities and different desires and different lifestyle they prefer to entertain. That's why actually I have international lifestyle consulting to highlight the differences between places, between communities, between way of living. And there is investment component, say, in Belize. Like, if you can afford to have, one apartment in Belize, one in Costa Rica, and one maybe in colonial part of Mexico, it's ideal. You really have opportunity to enjoy different lifestyle and look how you feel, with this option. But for some people who are looking for maybe one vacation home, or actually looking to live in retirement, there is different components now coming to the game, like health system, safety, or infrastructure, how close you would be, say, to hospital or to the supermarket you would like to buy your food. And again, depending on your age, depending like it's what I'm asking. What do you want? I'm asking my client. How do you see? What do you want from this place? Retirement, even part-time. I believe you should be in pretty developed place with good hospitals close by, with infrastructure you require. with community of expat, which will define your social circle and satisfaction with life. Golf clubs, depending what you like. For people who are more adventurous, you like scuba diving, coral reef. Okay, there is a Belize. You like sunset, maybe in some remote place, or maybe good developed remote place. It might be Guanacaste in Costa Rica. And Costa Rica is a good place. And Belize is a good place, but for different people and for different reasons.
Now, what's your plans for the other parts of the Caribbean, such as Grenada or Panama or San Martin, Aruba?
I'm not able to work with each country. That's why I selected for myself countries which I know the most popular
Sure, of course.
in people's minds. So I'm working with Panama because it's one of the very stable and developing economy in the region. So Aruba, Grenada, other islands may be wonderful. I visited some, but I'm not working. It's a different lifestyle. And by the way, lifestyle on the island, even it's in Belize, it's not for everyone. Like I spent some time in Turks and Caicos, where I've had friends before from Montreal. And, it's kind of idyllic, but after some time, you look for the big land. I mean, it's very secluded, I would say, certain community, which not for everyone. So people should, and sometimes people don't know. You think that you would be happy on an uninhabited island. After spending 2-3 months, you will think you're fine.
You can't wait to get off the rock.
Yes.
Well, Emily Braun, thank you very much for being again on Global TV Talk Show and touring around Mexico and these places. By the way, Joanne and I have been in Puerto Vallarta many times over the years, but not for the past 3 or 4 years. So we're actually looking forward to going back there. And that's just a beautiful area, not only in the city area. And of course, that's in the back of that is Gringo Gouch, where a lot of people are Americans, are Canadians. And then further north of the airport in Puerto Vallarta is golf course communities.
Riviera Nayarit, very still developing. Yes, it's a different lifestyle of big communities. Riviera Nayarit, it's what you mean, north of airport.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks. And it's Emily Braun, B-R-O-N, emilybraun.com. Check it out. Thank you again.
Much. Yes, I have a lot of stories. Till the next time.
See you again. This is Ed in San Diego signing off, and Emily is today in the Toronto area. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.